go.
Hello, this is Dan the Cryptid Wrangler. Today we're doing a special guest, Ian Wood. He's from the UK, and I had met him on a previous show, somebody else's podcast. And it was about, I think it was a couple of weeks ago when I stumbled on your documentary. And I go, I know that guy. So I went ahead and asked. Yeah, great documentary. Tell us a little bit about you and how long you've been doing cryptid studies.
It's actually 10 years. I'll say really, I was born in 1964 in the northwest of England. Served in the British Army 8.5 years. I do private and corporate security. I'm currently working in sort of corporate security, but in terms of the cryptid, I've been doing that 10 years, almost literally to the year, because I started December 25th, Christmas Day 2016.
Wow.
Which was a Sunday, and that was just off the fact that as I said in the documentary, I spent about a year just walking around the building where I worked in 2.5 hours, and I need to listen to something, and I came across Dogman Encounters, and obviously my grandmother, she lived in a town 40 miles away, so I used to take the back roads, cut through some wooded areas, and over a period of time, you start recognizing this, what I would call tree sign, and you realize that the same activity is almost going on. I mean, we in this country, we do have a strong tradition of what we call the wild man, or Vilvusa, or the green man, which is like, I suppose, a Canadian-American version of Bigfoot or the Sabe. So there are traditions of what we call the Shuk or Shuka, which is basically the devil hound or the devil dog. Basically, it's the same thing, different name. But the oldest name is Blieka Skuka, which means great terror. So that said,
I heard you say that last time, and
yeah,
we rescued this little guy. I called him the Shuka. He's about this big, but he's a terror, man. He messes everything up. So, anyways, I'm sorry I didn't interrupt you.
Yeah. So Christmas Day, thick fog. 2016, I got up to a place called Chasey Heath. Actually, there's a village called Gallows Tree Common, and then we got Dead Man's Lane, which is just about a mile down the road. So I park up in a pub, big car park, nice big open area, cross the road, into the tree line. To the left of the tree line, there's a single track lane that goes down to a farm. There's an open field. As I'm walking around, I catch movement out of the corner of my left eye. And as I turn towards it, this thing's about 2 foot bigger than me. I catch the right shoulder and the side of its head. And I was like, right, okay.
Well, you're
seeing is believing.
6'3".
Oh, it was 2 foot bigger than me. I'm 6'3". This thing was 2 foot bigger than me. Easy.
Okay, yeah, that's what I meant. You 6'3".
Yeah. So I was like, right, get back in the car, went home.
Yeah.
New Year came and went. first weekend of January. I found another place to park. I'm walking down a footpath off this lay-by, and I got 2/3 of the way down the footpath, and there's one sat on its haunches, about 4 foot tall, thereabouts. The coat is immaculate with the centre parting down the middle. It's blacker than black hair, but there's no shine on the coat, which I thought was really odd. And he didn't even turn his head. He just completely ignored me.
He ignored you.
Yeah, so I just went back to the car, because obviously at this point I'm still a novice, but I think I'm a better aware novice than what I was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Because obviously, you get some programs that are just all about all the bad stuff.
Exactly.
And I've only ever had one experience where I would say I definitely would have. Well, I think it would have been food for sure. But in all the other experiences, I've only ever been scared witless, maybe 3 or 4 times. One where I was really too nonchalant, because I thought I was accepted by this pack, and one just rose out of the undergrowth. I mean, literally feet in front of me, and as it moved from right to left, going right across the front of me, it seemed the motion was like it was gliding. It was effortless, and he just rose up on 2 feet and then turned left and went into the tree line. And I literally froze. I'm glad to say I've never defecated or urinated involuntary out of fear. I know there's a lot of guys, men and women, who go on programs and say, yeah, I'm not afraid to say I actually had a discharge of one thing or another because of sheer terror.
Exactly.
And some of these people are like real stand-up sort of guys, and it takes a lot of courage to sort of say, yes, I did, that happened to me, but because. So,
well, it's not just you though, Ian. I've heard a couple of reports and stories where.
Yeah. So I've had this one time I was literally petrified. I was rooted to the spot. There was one off to my left chasing a pheasant, and I heard it get caught because I could hear the crunching of the bone in its mouth, and one behind me across the way barked, and it was so loud that's what really shook me out of my fear. So I ran back to the car. I sat in the car for 10 minutes. I thought, right, I'm going to put my big boy pants on, run out, take some pictures. Ran back to the car and went home. So sometime later, I'm looking at the pictures, and the one that had gone left into the tree line had circled back and was coming up towards me from my right. And I had 7 pictures, and basically the head was just getting bigger and bigger and bigger as it was getting closer and closer.
Jeez.
So I didn't, at the time, I didn't even notice it there. I was still, I could just hear this thing chasing a pheasant off to my left in the undergrowth through these bushes. And I just heard it caught it because I could just hear the bones crunch.
Yeah.
And then this thing barked. I mean, we've had howls. Oh Lord! One time, there's a common near. There's a series of small military or garrison towns. A place called Blackwater, but the open area is called Barossa Common.
Yeah.
And one Sunday afternoon, me and my ex missus, were walking around there, and we could hear these howls. And everyone who, you can go there for picnics and strolls and what have you. People do a lot of physical training there. The army goes there, and no one sort of stopped and went, "Oh, what's that?" It was like they were used to it. I mean, there's a lot does happen in this country that that, you know, sort of remains localized, but doesn't get the national attention that it does.
Same with the U.S.
Yeah, I mean, was it that lady that was badly mauled? Was it Ohio or
Oklahoma. Yeah.
Where?
They finally declared that was a canine that did it. It wasn't, you know. Of course, they're going to though.
Oklahoma.
They're going to keep it under the rug. The woman that got attacked in Oklahoma.
yeah, Oklahoma, yeah. That's, you know, that's where I think Dogman Encounters do 2 episodes on a group of guys who went literally looking for one to hunt and kill, just to provide proof. And they
Dogs
shot this
don't
one.
do what they did to her.
Oh yeah, yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
they'll-
yeah.
They'll
shoot
clamp
it.
on you and
They really
hold you
did
and
that.
give you some wounds, but they won't tear half your arm off your muscle and
No,
that I've seen pictures. It's pretty gruesome.
yeah. I
I
mean,
don't
we
think
had
a dog did it.
we have people go missing here. You know, I mean, we have we actually do have a judicial process. So say like, I mean, the recent one was a young female university student, very athletic. She was out for a run, went missing. She was found a couple of days later, and the authorities say that the expression is no suspicious circumstances, and the story goes away, right? So
Yeah.
we had a very famous incident here in June 2006 in Scotland in Polkemmet Park, which has a lot of wild canine sightings, 4-legged uprights. Some chap in June 2006, he went for a walk. He was going to see his girlfriend, and the last message from his phone was about 10:30. Next morning, big pile, described as a big pile of burger meat in the middle of the path, found by a jogger. They had to identify him from his dental records.
Yeah.
So, Scotland is like our country's Transylvania. They got a bona fide vampire up there. The Loch Ness monster. They got the what we call the grey man, which is a kind of wild man, Sabe, but they're like 10, 12 foot and they're very cannibalistic. So
kind of like the Gugways that are here.
Could be, yeah. So they, I was lucky enough to know someone up in that part of the world with the authorities, and we asked for a copy of the autopsy report, and the reply we got was it's not in the public interest. So that's the second layer. That's the icing on the cake that nothing gets out.
Yeah, that
But-
automatically points to exactly
Yeah,
something mysterious but yeah, you're correct. I mean, I think that's probably the way it is all over the world.
Yeah.
Because you don't want everybody to just freak out and start killing people and so,
oh yeah, here we got this actually does happen, because obviously, you know, one of the things that really does get the authorities, you can't have people running around with 12 gauge side by side over and under shotguns blatting discharging rounds in the middle of the night trying to find something, you know,
Yeah.
big and hairy. It's just not for the sake of you know, we have a lot of wild campers. We have a lot of people that do midnight running, cycling. Why, I don't know.
What was a midnight camper?
Yeah, he had that. I think in one of his videos, he had that guttural throat rattle, and it scared the absolute bejesus out of him. That's
Paul
how.
Chapin?
Yeah, it could be. I mean, it's happened to me. I know what it means.
posted that video. That's this morning.
Yeah, that's saying you stay put, sunshine. I'm over here.
Yeah,
You stay there. I'll be gone in 5 minutes.
exactly.
Yeah, don't move.
Well,
That's what it means.
Yeah, go back and look, and he was laughing.
Yeah,
We went out there. He said this is where that dog man growled at me. And I'm like, oh, really? He goes, I really didn't run, though. I'm like, I'd have ran. So, but he's one of the best researchers out there for sure.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't think,
sorry.
but I don't
was that
think
like?
they're all vicious and see us as prey, but there are some that will attack us. So
Yeah. I mean, we do have. I know there was one chap on Dogman Encounters who did an estimate of about, certainly in the lower 48 states, there was about 220 plus a year that go missing or attacked. I mean, here we have we do have people that go missing and then found. We had a former British diplomat up in I think the Forest of Dean, and he went missing for like 4 months. And he was a he was a bit of a health freak, jogging and yeah, he was found. What can only be described, he was eaten.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So I mean, I have a relative that lives down. We have a region near the Severn River called the Three Counties, and there is such a thing as a Three Counties werewolf, because obviously werewolf means man wolf, like dog man, but obviously werewolf has this sort of shape shifting connotation. But werewolf, in the old German or Old English. I mean, Old English is basically an old form of German. So, it literally means man wolf. So, this relative was telling me that there's a hiking center, an outdoor center, and we have wild boar down in this forest. And something was literally like ripping their heads off and then shoving them on the gate posts.
I've heard that several times too. You think it's kind of like, oh, this was a one thing. No, but apparently that is something they do quite often. So,
yeah, I mean, we had, I know they have a visceral hatred for cats, and they like skinning them and disemboweling them for fun. Yeah, we years ago we had this somewhere in the southeast part of the country. In the paper there was some psycho going around skinning and mutilating cats, felines.
They'll say a psycho, but they won't tell you what it is.
They won't tell you because the way it was done, when you read the descriptive of the act, you kind of, at the time, I mean, obviously, before I knew what I know now, I mean, I think that is one sick SOB. And then at the end of it, you get into it, and this, I was talking to a lady from Yorkshire, and she said they found a cat where there had been an insertion in the underbelly and the intestines pulled out and had been left alive.
You think it's from those claws?
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Dude.
Gotta be.
Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of hunters, so like, with the passage of time, a lot of animals, the teeth start to yellow and they crack and they chip.
Yeah.
But on these things, I have yet to see a set of teeth like that. They're always nice and nice, shiny pearlers, and their mouth is just like full of teeth. It's just no way. There's just no way to, yeah.
Yeah. It's like, whoa. And the double canines. I think there was two at the top, two at the bottom. Yeah.
Yeah, they're just, I mean, I've had, I used to smoke. I gave up smoking a couple of years ago because of some health issues. Yeah. And there's a place where I used to live. And one time, because I had to smoke outside, and I had this like on the top of my head. So it was literally coming off the ceiling down. And it was a sharp point, and I looked up, and there was nothing.
Even more.
I've had like in the bedroom as well. They come into the house on occasion, and I've had one like literally drooling over my arm. I've had one.
That's another thing, Ian. We both
Yeah.
had very similar dreams or nightmares, if you one way or the other.
I don't.
Because-
I mean, I wouldn't say some of the dreams I've had very vivid dreams.
This
Like-
one was too.
Like,
Yeah.
but I've had like where I'm lying in bed, my right shoulder's out the cover, and it's tapping me on the top of my shoulder. I can feel the point of the claw, and I can hear it walk down the end of the bed. And I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to count to 10, open my eyes, and then scream like a big girl's blouse. You know, I open my eyes, and there's nothing there.
Yeah.
I mean,
Wow.
I've seen
Just-
on two occasions, like where they're literally squatting in the corner of my bedroom, just
Are they
watching.
just black masses, or they're the full color?
Oh, it's a very squat. Yeah, it's the outline because it's right next to the window, so there is some outside light that comes in.
Wow.
And I've had one shake my leg, and I told it to f off because I wanted to sleep because I had to be up for work early. and it
Exactly. I
stops.
remember you seeing that on the in the documentary.
You know, so it's I mean, I've been growled at, barked, snorted at. I've had things thrown at me. I mean, one time I was up in the northwest in a county called Cheshire, near a town called Winsford, and there's a couple of guys there, and there's some really big ones up there, and I was with a friend called Danny, and we're just walking along a path next to a stream in a wooded area. And we just saw this tree being pushed like that. And we looked, it looked at us, it carried on, pushed the tree out, and we just carried on our way. So I think it gets to a point where you do something for so long that, you know, that initial sense of wonder that you might encounter something. It's almost like, I don't know, going to the store and thinking, oh yeah, I need to get some cigarettes, or I need to get some groceries, or I need to get milk. You know, it's just. But there are still occasions where, you know, I'm still sort of left stunned.
Yeah.
There's, but yeah, so. It's been a lean year so far because I say because of personal issues.
And you rolled your ankle the last time I saw you.
Yes, yeah, I left that job. I had a bit of a settee with the yard manager there, so him and I had words. I just walked off. Yeah, I was working in a warehouse, and you know, I got it all squared away. 160 pallets kitchen items need to be returned, and just wasn't going to happen. So it's just like, I'm off, you know. So yeah, I went back to my old job, which is about 39 miles away, which is I work in a control room. So
what control room?
It's actually, I work in an office complex, and there's about 2,000 people in there. So there's a lot of there's different companies. There's a few bankers and lawyers and IT, what have you. So you know, I've got about 3 monitors, 2 phones, a handset, and all the rest. Busy morning. Afternoon is Netflix. Watch some K-drama.
There you go.
There's upside. There's an upside.
End up playing.
Ian, do you believe that all dog men are flesh and blood, or can some be supernatural?
I truly believe that they're flesh and blood, and that they do have a box of tricks that are I'm still trying to wrap my head around. I mean, I've seen the film where
yeah.
they've come out of the ground, they've come out of a tree. I mean, this portal thing.
Yeah.
I used to sit on the fence. I mean, I said, well, I'm not going to say no because I don't know. I literally don't know. And a friend of mine, a lady called Nadine Hordle, was up by Nooney Woods, and she actually got an image of like it almost in midair, this circular apparition opening and something coming out of it. I mean, I've actually had one time I was in the woods. I had a real sense I was being followed. This was earlier this year, and sometimes if you use your camera phone, it'll pick things up that you can't with the naked eye. And I had these 4 black shadows coming in from 4 different directions, 2 on the ground and 2 from the air, and they started forming this shape, almost like humanoid shape. And I'm looking, but this black shadow, this thing's forming. I must admit, I excuse my French, but I did shit myself. I ran.
Yeah.
So I've never experienced anything like that ever.
Yeah.
And all the times I've been in the woods, I mean, at one time I was going to go camping up in Nooney Woods, and they were all there waiting for me. And that
would be weird.
that really unsettled me.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
You know, and I had a soccer ball with me because I used to take gifts up there, and I was kicking the ball around, and then I went to another location, and as I pulled up, there was 4 of them walking on all 4s in Indian file, one behind the other. So I thought, holy cow, there was about 13 of them that evening. I actually just walked into. There was like 9 heads stuck out of a bush. I was like, flipping heck. Yeah. So I thought, okay. And then I thought I'd go and find somewhere else, and then maybe they'll leave me alone. But just to say, I just wanted to say, yeah, I spent a night in the woods. Yeah, exactly. you know, but yep. So yeah, that kind of unnerved me. I mean, I've had where about 3-4 o'clock in the morning, I've gone into the woods, and one time I sort of pulled up and I heard like this scraping, like dried leaves on tarmac in the summer or on a cold day. I'm looking down and I realised there's no dead leaves, but I could hear this scraping, and it must have been whatever it was scraping its nails on the road.
The road,
like in a circular. It was right next to the car door. I mean, my ex-missus, bless her, sometimes if we'd go out somewhere, I was just like, I've got to go to the woods, just got to go spend time with them, you know.
Yeah.
And she used to say, you love them more than me. And I used to say, well, yeah, of course I do. Yeah.
Exactly.
Because at least I know what's going to kill me if you ever get mad, you know.
Exactly. And they're going to take it. Revenge for it.
So
we're going to back you up.
I pull up in this lay-by off the main road, and literally the tree line is right there. So I would go around this gate into the wood, and one time I saw this one sort of walking on all 4s, went past me, went up to the car, and they squat down. They do like the squatting. I don't know how to describe it. Knees up, and then they put their arms out, sort of like an Indian charwalla or something like that.
Oh yeah.
And the head, she used to sit in the car with her phone right up to her face like that because she didn't want to look, because they were literally fascinated as to what she was doing with the phone in the car.
Yeah.
And I mean, initially they used to sort of about 10 feet, and then eventually it was down to like the inches, that it got to the point where she didn't want to go.
Yeah.
I mean, one time we went up to a place called Glasshouse in Gloucestershire, which is part of the 3-county area.
Oh.
And Glasshouse is a beautiful place. Honestly, it's like old England, like you see in some of the movies. It's sort of picturesque, but it's
Beautiful,
definitely
yeah.
quiet, right? So we're walking along this road, and all you can hear is this generator for this ashram because there's some Krishnas living out on the other side of the wood. We going up this path, and this thing, it must have been about 5 foot plus on all fours. It was just sat there black. I looked at it, it looked at me, and it just bolted. I mean, like a black blur.
Yeah.
And it went behind us, across the path into a tree line. And there's a fence, and I can see the head. So I said to the missus, I said, turn around and smile. Because I thought if she's walking and saw this thing, because she's about 5'8", 5'9", and all fours, it was about head height to her.
It's not
And
the reason she's an ex, is it?
yes, oh, very much an
Really?
ex. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah. I
You didn't
told her
say
to pack
all
her bags
that
and
to the
go.
dog?
Oh yeah. Well, I'm not saying that, please eat her, but
Yeah.
but no, seriously. So I think if she turned around and saw this thing, it would have been sort of like eye to eye contact. I think she would have run a country mile. And I was thinking that there was no way I was going to catch her because my knees and hips are buggered.
Yeah.
From
Exactly. All you have to
so
be is faster than the last guy.
oh, I've seen these things run from a standing position, like literally past me, and it's like a blur. That's the only way I can describe it. You get like, it's like something like one of these Roadrunner cartoons. There's like a puff of smoke and the image is still there, but even though it's gone. It's like that. But in some things they can be so slow and graceful as well, which is like the weird thing. But if there's one thing out of all the experiences I've had, it's the speed of these things.
That's
Oh yeah.
That
They're
is
super quick.
Oh, I mean, I know a couple of stories where they've chased cars along the roads here in the UK. I know there's a lot in America. Yeah, there's, and the
kind of like that.
Yeah, and the ability to maintain a constant speed over a certain distance as well.
Yeah. Now, what do you think it was? Did it try to pace you? Did you try to see how fast it was going?
Oh no, I'm not even gonna. I mean, if the fastest one, I know one gentleman said he was doing 80, and he reckons he was doing 77 miles an hour over a 5 mile stretch. I know in the
standing upright. Was that standing
upright?
Or on all four?
This gentleman said it was upright. I know some say the faster on all fours.
Yeah, that's
but
what I was wondering.
the 2 times it's happened with me, they were upright, and they're like literally you see them and then boom, they're gone. But is that blur, that sort of I think the best example is that there's a gentleman that was out walking his dog with his daughter. She's about 7 or so, and they're going they're on a country house or something, and they go from the garden, they go to the wood trail, and this thing's behind a tree, and it literally bomb bursts from right to left. It goes in front of them, and you can tell this guy is genuine just by his voice. And in the girl, but it's like a blur. You can clearly see it's an upright canine of some description, but the speed and the motion of it, again, it's like a blur, and that's, I've had a brown one and a black one. I've had one where I was literally getting back at it was about 3:55 a.m. in the morning, and I normally hold up my phone. I got a high-res torch, and I'm scouting the tree line and trying to get into underneath. As I'm turning to get back in the car, I'm sort of making this video, and this at the time I didn't see it, but it was only when I slowed the video down that this thing was crawling on all fours up towards me up the road. And for whatever reason, it decided to go back into the tree line. But at the time, I didn't see it. But it was. If you send me your email, Larry or Daniel, I'll dig out the pictures and send them to you.
Cool. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not a photographic genius, but you can definitely tell it's a canine with the arms. Yeah, like Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Like a leopard crawl.
Oh yeah.
I've had 2 encounters, and both of mine, they look different. But the first one was really scary, and then the second one, I was actually in the woods mushroom hunting and seen a black blur, and then I looked over, and it was standing looking over a giant grapevine watching me.
Wow.
I just backed out of there real slow.
Yeah, I mean,
But that one wasn't near as scary as the first one.
Oh yeah. Jeez.
Yeah, I mean, I had 6 months of being given the runaround, about 6-8 months of being given the runaround.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, just I don't know whether it was just like they were trying to test me, or because so when I started getting really into it in 2017, there were moments where you could feel the utter contempt, the absolute disgust, and then sometimes you get a feeling of like they weren't really interested at all. Like, oh, it's you again. And then sometimes you just feel the visceral hatred.
Yeah, that dread.
Yeah. And then after maybe late July, August, it was just like, oh, it's you. Okay.
We know you're here.
Yeah, just which is why I think sometimes they can be a lot more passive than, say, aggressive. And this is maybe I'm still undecided on the issue of, is it how people react to them? Because I know trying to make yourself big and all the rest of it, to them, that's like a red rag to a bull. Yeah. And that, you have to go small and you have to try and sort of extricate yourself in the best way possible. I mean, just like Larry did, and I think sometimes, when you say, well, if you ever meet like a big cat, I mean, we do have big cats here, make yourself big and scream and shout and, scare it. And I think sometimes there's a school of thought that with these particular creatures, that's like game on.
Yeah.
You've just sat down, which I normally tend to believe, but I think, when you hear so many stories about like, oh, I felt this wave of absolute terror, or it just felt like I had this sense that I was going to see something, and like it was projecting a feeling of, I'm here, but don't worry.
Yeah.
Because when one
of our team members who is on Friday nights with us normally is Bruce Brown. If you get a chance, go back and check out the Bruce Brown. He's amazing. He just he'll walk outside and drive down the street, and then he'll see a dog man. They'll see him, and it happens.
He's like a magnet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell him, Larry. My mind is kind of shot. And sorry, I'm itching because I took a pain medication.
Oh wow!
That's what I'm calling itchy. So, but
I used to. I smoked for 42 years, and I was 20 a day, and I was up at a place called Cannock Chase, which is the most pack in the country. Yeah. Right. Stories abound. I mean, I've met people who I mean, they're really big up there.
Yeah,
They,
sure.
yeah, those boys have got a healthy appetite up there.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I was, I was walking back to the car and I had a sharp pain in my leg, and I was like, have I pulled a muscle or something? So I sort of left it, but this pain wouldn't go away. And then I went to the doctor, and he goes, "Yeah, I think you got a clot in your thigh."
Ooh.
I went, "Oh, right, okay." So, I mean, that was on a Friday. Sunday, I went to the hospital to have a scan. And obviously, they x-rayed my lungs. I had a CT scan, I had MRI scan.
Yeah.
I was giving the blood away like for free. And they found another clot in my lung. But he said the really strange thing was there was no, my lungs were clear. So after all that smoking, my lungs were fine. But, that was to say that you got a blood clot in your lung.
Yeah.
And that kind of sentence, that's sort of right. That's it. So I got back into, so I got back into physical training. I must admit, I do. There are moments where you just, when you're in a situation and you think, coffee and a cigarette right now would just cure all the problems.
While you're exercising, though.
Oh yeah. I mean, I do walks. I mean, I can't run because my knees are just bust from the army.
I hear you.
Yeah, jumping up and down and all the rest of it. So, yeah, but yeah, that sort of centers the mind. And so I've got I'm trying to do something at the moment, but maybe about August, September, I'll start getting back out into the woods. And the like, start back in, start making some short videos and whatever, because I'm quite happy to drive like 4 or 5 hours just to go to a location to spend the day.
Yeah, definitely.
And
if you're seeing what you're seeing, I'll drive 10 hours. It's just amazing.
Oh, absolutely.
Fall's a better time to research and look for them anyway, because a lot of your foliage is gone and you can see better through the trees, and keep on hearing more and more encounters of them being in trees. So
they I do have one sat on top of a tree. Obviously I've got them hanging out of a tree halfway up. I had actually there was one private wood. We have a lot of private woodland here. I was going for about 3 years before I finally got caught, and I was with another fellow researcher who's a plant machinery operator, and he's had a couple of encounters when he's been clearing woodland, for building, and this thing, things looking back up at him. So, we were there.
Is it just like they bought the house and the land comes with it, or is it just
no? A lot of these, especially a lot of these private estates, belong to. When we talk about an estate, you got the country home or the manor or the farm estate. Some of these can go back 600-700 years, and the like. And obviously, forestry is a big earner. They're always replanted. Woodland in this country's gone up from the mid 60s. It was about 7%. I think at the moment it's about 13 or 14%. And the deer population just exploded. And this is why we certainly in the last 30 years we've seen a lot more of these creatures being seen. Here, in this country and what have you. So,
why do you think that? Why do you think that we're just now starting to see more of them lately?
I think because is there more acceptance to believe these creatures exist, and whether there's some sort of telekinetic or telepathic signal going out there, and they can pick it up, and they think, all right, people believe more, or whatever, or there's just more food out there. I mean, we have about we used to publish figures canine attacks on sheep in this country, and that stopped at about 8 years ago, maybe. So between 15, on average, we have about 34 to 36 million sheep, goats in the country, and about 16,000 would be found killed and eaten. It was all blamed on dog walkers.
Yeah. Oh, dog
Right.
walkers. Like,
Oh yeah, I mean here. Yeah, if you're caught killing livestock with a dog off the leash, you can get into a big pile of trouble.
Yeah.
So just go back to this country estate. Me and this other chap, we were walking back to the cars, and this chap, he had a bolt action. You would call it, was it a 223? I think we call it probably a 5.56. Is it?
Well, yeah, both of those are shot out of a AKs, or no? Out of AKs.
Yeah, because I did, because I know you guys do, like with 308s or 306s. I think one's a 7.62, and the other one's like a 7.92 or 7.82 round. Yeah, a big
ARs, and one is shoot 223 or 5.6.
Yeah.
And then another one is shoot that 7.39, whatever.
What's the name of
they're
that
all
one
good
that they
rounds
use in Russia?
Yeah.
Oh,
the Russians, use a 7.62 short.
That's the one, the AK-47.
Yeah, which I must admit, I did far many moons ago, and I thoroughly enjoyed the experience. I'll say that much.
Yeah. And
unfortunately, we're restricted here.
Well, I was going to ask you that too. I know that you're limited in having guns and stuff like that. So
yes, unfortunately, we had a couple of incidents over the last 40 or so years, but I think those incidents were politically used to further a certain agenda.
Yeah.
That sounds
take
familiar.
rights away.
Exactly.
I mean, there are English laws where because obviously knives are a big thing at the moment, but I think there is a couple of English laws, especially when we were fighting the French all the time, that you must keep at least 2-edged weapons, bow, pike, spear. And I don't think they've been revoked. I did spend a week in Switzerland once with a friend, and that was just, that was a great country to be in. Switzerland.
Yeah.
You must. I mean, the firearms education in Switzerland is just fantastic. I mean, they don't have, in certain areas where there's a certain type of politic that is operated in the United States where certain rights are stopped or prohibited. That you have a certain rate of antisocial behavior. I'm trying to choose my words very carefully here.
Yeah.
But in Switzerland, you don't, because you're allowed. I mean, you're allowed to keep 3 fully automatic firearms in your home by law. Yeah, by law. And you start education at the age of 12 out there.
Oh, wow.
Crime's actually pretty low in that country.
Yeah.
Oh, you do. When I was Larry, when I was there, sorry, Daniel. When I was there was 2 guys broke into a house and they were shot dead by the owner. Right. Yeah. It was 6 o'clock news, and everyone was like, "Oh, they must be mentally ill." Right. It turns out there were 2 drug guys, but it just doesn't happen.
Yeah. Now, does the police that you have out there, do they carry guns?
We do have what we call fire arm response teams.
Arm response. So it have
Yeah.
to be somebody within
Yeah, they
law
normally
enforcement.
carry Heckler Koch and I think Glocks.
Oh yeah, really? Yeah. Good
But
gun.
if I had my way, I'd be a kind of a Walther guy myself.
Yeah, I like those too. I like those too.
Yeah, big fan of
9
Walther.
millimeters.
Yeah. I know we're getting off topic here, but I do like watching. I'm interested in watching a lot of firearm
Yep.
shows. You know, especially
Me too.
Honest Outlaw and was it Bill Hickok 45?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is it?
a few of those.
Oh, really?
That's my go-to firearm. I got 1911 45.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
Got a lot
Yeah.
of
Look at one of
wars.
those too. Yeah.
yeah. I do have family in Alabama, and I used to have family in New York State and Florida. A cousin of mine, he's dead now. He was ex-US Navy, Coast Guard. He had a genuine 19. It was supposed to be a 45 1911, but it was made in like 1914, 1915.
Wow. Yeah. Jeez.
You know.
That's a good one. Yeah.
But
Wow. Yeah.
Back to the thing where you talked about the deer population.
yes, sorry, yeah,
And then
Yeah, we-
Dogman sightings picked up too, where
Yeah.
they have
no,
a
yes,
good
There
food
is-
supply and water. They're going to thrive and probably populate.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's I'll say because they eat you'll say they're omnivores. You know, they eat meat and veg. You know, the sort of mushrooms. I believe someone told me they eat a lot of mushrooms as well, wild mushrooms.
Yeah.
I mean, where Nooney Woods is, the Thames River. I do know they need a huge supply of water, simply because of the body mass.
Yeah.
And there's the Thames River there. Excuse me. There's in the mid 1970s there wasn't that many deer, so they said, right, there's no more deer hunting. So they went on this massive conservation drive, and the deer population, I think, the last 30 years has exploded.
Wow.
And I mean, I do have a photo because I first time I saw this, I couldn't believe it. But in Nooney Woods, where I normally go, there are 4 different herds of deer, and I've had one where a herd of deer literally bomb burst out of the tree line in front of me, being chased by something. But I waited and nothing happened. But I do have a picture where the herd is in a circular defense, all-round defense, with two deer point at the 3 and 9 o'clock position.
Oh, jeez.
And in the hedge line, on the far side of the field, there's a big black canine head sticking its head over the bush, watching them.
That's got to be pretty cool.
They're flanking them.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen. I mean, I have literally. I mean, one time, I got a pic. I call him Pepe Le Pew because he's got a big white. He's about 8 foot, but he's got a big white streak of fur that goes from the middle of the brow here all the way down the back. And one November, I was walking around and I had a sense that there was one near me. I was looking around. So sort of stepped away, poured coffee, and these 3 deer were coming up from my left, walking along the footpath, and sort of in front of me. And literally, where I've been stood under this tree, it came out, jumped out the top, hit the ground, and went off to the right. And I'm like literally still pouring the coffee in the cup.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the time when it jumped out the top of the tree, hit the ground, and went off to the right was like as quick as I could blink my eye.
Yeah. That's
And
scary.
the other two
Scary
deer
fact.
ran. The other two deer ran back, and I ran to the spot where I thought the kill had been, and there was nothing. So I think it must have grabbed it in its arm. Which I've seen one where, because they dig ambush pits. I don't know what American dogmen do, but they dig ambush pits near
I haven't
trails.
heard of that, so I don't think so. How
Yeah.
crazy.
And because they can squat, they can really compress their rib cage. They can really push themselves down, and like literally, if you're looking at ground level, you won't see it until it pops up.
Yeah.
And this thing must have been huge, because the arm reminded me of an earth digger arm, like you see on the Terex, where the earth excavator. And these deer were just sort of ambling along, and I'm again just sat there just drinking coffee and having sandwiches, and this big black arm just like that just came out of the ground, rolled like in a judo roll, just rolled one over, and the deer just like gone. Warp speed 10.
Yeah.
And I just I mean, obviously I ran over, but there was nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen one where it's like coming out of a tree line. There's a big open space, and there's two deer over to the far left, just munching away. And it must have been a juvenile, and it's squatting down really low, and it's on all fours. It's really close to the ground, and it seemed to hesitate, because that's what I found really fascinating. It just seemed to like hesitate for a split second, and it, like a champagne cork out of a bottle, it went across about maybe 200 yards across open ground, like God knows what. And these deer saw it, like, and they ran, but I think it got one of them. But the explosion of speed, and I'll be honest, I saw it go, but I didn't see it across cover the ground. I mean, I've had cubs run up to me on 2 occasions, and you can hear them like coming, because they make a hell of a sound, and they just like literally run up to you, stop, look, boom, gone, and it's just like a split second. But this one was about 4 or 5 feet in length, but it was like when you see the big cats, they tuck in their legs, and that you see the rear legs start to crouch, they get under the body ready to go. It was doing that, and just for a split second it hesitated, which I thought was really fascinating. But when it went, it just like off a grease shovel. I saw it go, but I didn't see it cover the ground. But the deer must have heard or something, because they bolted. But I'm pretty sure it got one of the deer.
Oh yeah.
Crazy. Yeah.
And
The documentary.
well, Liz sent me a message, or out of the blue, that someone had given her my details, and I went, okay, yeah, fine. She came round, set all her kit up, interviewed me, and then on her birthday she came round. I took her to Nooney Woods. So the documentary went well. There was another chap that was interviewed down in the southwest part, and then there was a gentleman from the Fortean Times that was interviewed that I've
the 14 as
in the magazine. Yes, yeah, which I thought I'm sure he meant well, but I just wondered what where he was going with his commentary. That was all,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know. But
Are you
I
talking about the guy towards the end of the show?
yes, yeah. Not
Yeah,
the guy that saw the wolves crossing the field. That I've seen myself as well. Only, but it was a individual. I've seen one early hours in the morning. But yeah, the chat from the 14 Times I thought was some of his commentary was interesting, to say the least, putting it politely. You know, to say that you actually go around the world hunting monsters.
yeah.
Well, at some point you must bump into something. By the law of averages, something must go bump in the night.
That's freaky.
I mean, I think all three of us here would love to have a job like that.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
No problem. Sign me
Yeah.
up. Get paid to do it. I'll
If
take
someone
it,
to finance it, yeah, we go big time.
oh hell
Yeah.
yeah.
You buy
So-
an RV and just cruise around.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but the other gentleman, yeah, I totally agreed with some of his witness testimony, which kind of we have the same shared experience. But yeah, I know you got to put both sides of the I wouldn't say argument, but the discussion on the topic. You know, you got to sort of say, well, you got a couple of guys who have experienced something, and then you got to have another guy sort of say, well, you know, it could be like they had too much Jim Beam, or they something else.
Never
But-
enough Jim Beam, maybe.
I actually like Jack Daniel's honey. I say when I can.
Oh yeah, no kidding. I use that as a mixing for one of my.
Yeah, it's kind of sad that anywhere you go, you might hear all kinds of good comments, and then somebody's going to jump in there and be negative, and the ridicule is always going to be there, I'm afraid.
In the beginning, some of it was, shall I say, spicy. Because I used to belong to a couple of Facebook groups, and I would post pictures and what have you, and some of them would be a bit sort of testy and a bit spicy. But I would always try and handle it with some mild sarcasm or humor. And I never
have to.
Sometimes nothing unwanted or use of bad language or anything like that, because when I was at work and people say, oh well, it's this and that, I say, well, do you want to come up the woods with me Saturday? Oh yeah, that was the end of the discussion. They'd go there.
Exactly. Oh yeah, sure. Well, let's go tonight. Oh, I can't make it. It's always some excuse. I'm here.
So, but the really good thing is, out of all of them, you do meet someone that actually does want to tell you something.
Yeah.
I had a neighbor when I was living in Reading. I had all my gear with me. And he goes, where are you off to, Mick? I said, well, I thought, well, okay, I'm going to go for it. I said, I'm going to look for the werewolves up at Nooney Green. And he looks at me dead in the eye, straight face, and he goes, you need to go up behind the university, and just walked off. I was like, holy cow, right, okay.
Yeah, that would be cool. A little
So-
closer to home too.
I mean, I've got a mate, Colin Keelty. He tells me this wonderful story about up in Yorkshire, knocking on doors, asking people. And he said one time he was in this village, and the last house, end of the road, knocked on the door, and this old girl opened the door, and she goes, I suppose you'll hear about that effing werewolf that comes out And she literally pointed to the tree line in the field where it comes out every morning at 6 a.m. But she just naturally didn't know him, just assumed straight away he was here about the werewolf.
Yeah.
So she goes, I suppose you hear about that effing werewolf. So, I mean, some part of Flixton werewolf. I mean, that old stinker.
Yeah.
I mean, that he's been in the newspapers loads of times.
Really?
Yeah,
So
he
a little more freedom with some of the stories instead of not posting anything about it.
Oh, I mean, some parts of the country here, they're like literally part of the furniture, culturally speaking.
Yeah.
I mean, Suffolk with a church where one murdered. Well, it was a storm. I think it was about 1577. One broke into a church and killed about 40 odd people because there was a massive.
Was it Black Grush?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, because I've actually known Colin for years now, and I try to get him to move here to the U.S., but his mom is out there with him, so I'm like,
Yeah.
hey, Colin, 10 minutes up the road, man, you can UFOs, Dogman, Bigfoot, little people, everything right up the road. And he's like, oh man, I'm like, yeah, just move on over. So
yeah. So there's a wood print 1575 Newgate Prison. It's famous for had a layer there in one of the cells, and the block was completely off limits.
jeez.
That's Newgate Prison in London. And there's one that had a dancing one, like the dancing bear. You seen those in Europe? Well, there's a woodblock print from the same year where a chap used one as a dancing canine, and this thing's about 7 foot tall.
Oof. Yeah, that's up there. And they just do. How did they find that? That they were just. Or did they train them?
There's up until a certain point that it seems to be like you can let these things into your house. These things were quite. They were used in stately homes. There was one that was found in a cemetery in an old monastery in 2015. It was a massive canine. They said, but they said the hips, if it stood upright, it would have been about 7 or 8 foot tall.
Jeez. Yeah, that's crazy. Wow. So, do you know the other two guys that are in the documentary with you?
No. Steve Havockham. I've never heard of him, but or the Fortean Times, really. I mean, I gave up reading the Fortean Times like maybe 20 odd years ago.
Yeah.
I'm yeah. Go on. Sorry, Dan.
Oh, I was just gonna say everybody's trying to kill each other to see that. So, yeah. No, I hear you.
Yeah, I mean, I had an elderly relative that was sort of a senior civil servant in London, and I used to pester him about aliens and UFOs, and it was only in the last 6 months of life, he sort of said, well, the whole cosmos is teeming with life, and there's like 4 million civilizations in the Milky Way, and that was that. But I saw something when I was primary school, when I was 7.
Yeah.
Many moons ago. So I'm a firm believer in life out there, and they can get from A to B pretty easy, whether they're time travel or interdimensional.
Yeah. You think there is, from your opinion, that there is a interdimensional portals that?
Yes, I do now. Yeah.
Okay. I know there was a couple of people in other countries that said, "Oh no, that's not it." And it's like, check it out before you say something.
Well, I mean, even if you, I know this is a favorite with a lot of conspiracy shows, like certainly with the History Channel, about what the German government were doing in the 1930s and 40s.
Yeah.
Now, there are some really good American historical writers who've actually spent time going through some stuff, and there are documents there where the Germans were definitely tinkering with stuff that
Yes.
you kind of think best left alone.
Yeah.
And
Hybrid.
there is, I mean, obviously you got the De Glocher, where one was found in a field in Pennsylvania because it ran out of juice and it fell into this farmer's field.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so definitely the antimatter or anti-gravity propulsion. I mean, Bob Lazar has described these things, the propulsion unit quite exclusively. I mean, we have experiments here in England going back to 1856 on anti-gravity or 0-point energy.
Yeah, they just came out with a kind of, I don't know if it's kind of like a podcast, but Bob Lazar and Travis Walton are sitting in this diner and they're talking back and forth. That just came out the other day, and I was watching a couple minutes of it. It looks awesome. It really does.
I'd have to watch that. I mean,
yeah, check it out.
I watch I watch a couple of religious ones as well, like Myth Vision. About the historical side of certain religious movements, as opposed to the faith-based side of things. But I just wish there was an extra 3 hours in the day, then I could have watched a lot more stuff.
Exactly. That's one the same way. It's like, oh, I wanted to see what happened at the end of that podcast or whatnot. So, yeah, good. So there's got some good shows definitely out there.
Yeah. I mean, I actually we have a famous vampire here. It's actually it was recorded by a famous Scottish ghost hunter. It's the Lochmarben vampire. And the thing is that there is a slight historical record of this thing, reference around a cousin of Robert the Bruce, who was bitten by an Englishman that was on the run from Edward I's army. They attacked someone in York, and the Bruce family took him in. And there was an outbreak of plague, and they had to burn everything, and they took him. The Englishman fled, and this cousin that was considered a plague victim is still around the woods, because apparently it feeds on the farm animals in the area.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. It's plenty out there.
Yeah, I spent a weekend up there looking for that, but
yeah.
Nothing.
How'd it go? Did you find him?
No.
Whenever we're looking, they're there, or they're not there. When we're not looking, they're always standing right there. So.
Yeah, it's it's amazing how many people, you just like the last hour, the last day, and they're thinking about going home. They've got to be at work, and they're walking back, and then boom, it's right there, whatever they're looking for. Or, I mean, the one thing I would never want to come across is a rake. A skinwalker, whatever you call them.
A lot of
rake,
that recently.
Crawler.
Yeah,
crawler. What was the other one?
They look kind of demonic.
Oh,
yeah.
They
look kind of a little freaky out there. But Jessica was saying something about that the other day. I think it was on our show or her show, one of the two. But great stories too. So
yeah.
So, anyways, but sorry, I got the dog in my lap.
I got a question, Ian.
Yeah, sure.
With the lore of werewolves, it goes back, to AD with the Dog Man. That it was Dog Man instead of werewolves, or Do you believe somebody can actually transform into a wolf?
I actually, I used to think, right, werewolf, dogman, it's a flesh and blood creature. But at a certain time, you start to think, well, shape shifting. I would say, right, I don't discount it. I'm not going to say I don't believe it. And then you start watching a couple of videos, and then you start talking to people that have. I talked to one guy who knew a guy who had witnessed something that it literally sent him up the tree. They sent him off to the funny farm because this guy was convinced that his neighbor was a shapeshifter. So yeah, I would say they exist. That there are people that do have the ability to change into certain types of creatures or whatever. I've never witnessed it myself, but I'm certainly not going to discount it because, like I say, I know there's a lot of video you can find online where it's not made up. It's not AI or whatever you want to call it. I mean, it just looks too genuine. But I think I know there has been some DNA studies like of Bigfoot and Dogman or werewolf, and human DNA is present in both.
Yep. Yeah.
And certainly, if you think about the King of Arcadia and Greek mythology, who
Cursed that guy.
Duke, he was cursed by Zeus because he fed him meat from his dead son. And and his punishment was to be turned into a werewolf.
Oh, really? Jeez. Well, yeah.
I mean, you can go back to some of the Sumerian myths or Akkadian. The gods.
It
So
goes way back.
Oh yeah, I mean, was it Lord Anu? He was Lord of the Cosmos, and his sons and daughters, and of course their chief science officer would have been Lady Aruru. He was challenged with creating mankind as a workforce. Whatever creation myth you wish to pursue, but sometimes when they started talking about creating. Taking a bit of the blood of the gods and mixing it with the clay of the earth, and then coming up with something. And one of the craziest things is they say that the big hairy man was created first. To me that's just it just sounds like Bigfoot, and then you get all these other weird creatures that are created.
Yeah, exactly.
As well,
Yeah.
So it's definitely like a trial by error. Process. It's not like they came. If you believe that the Anunnaki or the whatever they refer to themselves as came down and they created mankind as a slave force, and we revolted. But the really crazy thing in one of these myths that when I don't know, was it the Enuma Elish? Sumerian Book of Creation. That when Lady Aruru was charged with creating the human race, she created 4 different species at the cardinal points, east, north, and they were all made different. Yeah? But the thing is, they were all made to dislike each other. And the sole reason was so they couldn't unite and overthrow the gods. And sometimes I think that is such an interesting detail that you would stick in a creation myth.
Yeah.
It's not like, we didn't like them because we didn't like the way they cooked their food, or the way they looked, or the way they dressed. There's like a deliberate intent to keep us separate.
Yeah.
Which I always find like really interesting detail. So if they were going through this process of making all these other creatures, they must be around somewhere.
Yeah.
In different parts, but yeah. So yeah, shape shifting. I'm more firmly a firm believer now. Yeah.
Yeah,
because
there's gotta be something out there.
the more you do this line of research or hobby or work, or the more you delve into it, I mean, obviously to people that are more faith-based
Yes,
than others,
correct.
I mean that you could say Nephilim, the Watchers. Yes, you can equate those with the Anunnaki, from the first time and all the rest of it. There is a definite crossover. Even some of the words are the same from Old Testament to the Sumerian creationists.
Yeah.
But all the other things that are out there, flying, walking, or crawling,
Yeah. Huh.
it's just like it just never stops, and you think there's never enough time in the day or in your life to sort of say, right, well, this year I'm doing Dogman, Werewolf. Next year I'm going to do Bigfoot. I'm going to go out there and look for 30, 40 foot long pythons in the Florida Everglades.
Yeah,
They're
out there, I'm sure.
Yeah, so I don't, when I know what I know now, I mean, from personal experience and contact situations, or discussing with other fellow researchers and hobbyists and people who have a vivid interest in this.
Yeah,
it's just
it's interesting. Topics and
it's just
it's in the middle between.
You're never going to stop learning
not
about them.
fun. Yeah,
It's going to be
a
lifetime.
Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, I remember one comment, one of the guys from the North American Dogman Project.
Yeah.
Which I had to follow, because obviously, especially any historical folklore here that we had, it's pretty hard to find about. Finding a sort of baseline from which to start your research that you can relate to. So obviously you got to go Native American, or find something else that where there's plenty of experience to to give you the basic do's and don'ts. So obviously North American Dogman Project, but I think it was Cook. Was it Cook?
Jody
Cook. Yeah.
Jody.
I remember one of the few podcast shows they did back in the day was like, well, if I ever get killed one of these things, I better get sent to Valhalla.
Yeah.
And I thought, hell yes. I mean, if I'm going to be torn to pieces by one of these things, then I want to go to the place where I deserve to go.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. That's kind of
Yeah.
That's
yeah, absolutely.
It's like I've been deer hunting for 45 years, and every year I go, I learn something. I learn something new. They do something different than they have. Constantly learning about them. I guess if I went hunting and that didn't happen, I'd probably get bored with it, but they're always changing. So
yeah, despite the speed, it's their intelligence. That's if you were to say, okay, is there a list of things that surprise you or make you think twice before doing something? Number one, speed. The speed of these things. Yeah. I mean, you can forget the eyes, the size of them, the teeth, the claws. It's the speed and the intelligence.
Yeah.
Second for me. That really
they're deadly weapons.
Yeah, it's just it's like almost a human intelligence.
Yeah.
Whether
I've heard in some cases that they're beyond us.
It could very well be. I think this is certainly a line of research or a line of interest where you can't literally, like Larry said, something different every year. You could be the most hardcore, experienced hunter, hobbyist, there's always going to be something that just makes you step back and go, oh, well, okay, that's that's new.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
And maybe they were doing it and we just didn't notice as much.
yes, yeah.
Yeah, too. It's not
Yeah,
bad.
I mean, the various types of dens and above and below ground.
Yeah, I've heard that recently too. Yeah. Underground.
So, yeah, I mean, burrows. I mean, big enough for someone like my size to crawl in all fours. I mean, in Cheshire, it's just like
Can you
I know a
hear
couple.
Ian, Daniel?
Yeah, I can hear you, Larry.
I can't hear him.
Oh, can't hear me? I'm probably a little far away from the mic still. Well, I'm kicking the
Can't
dog. at
hear
the
you.
desk. You can't hear me? Is that better?
Can you hear? Can you hear me, Larry?
It's Ian and I can hear. Is that me? Still?
Can't hear
Larry?
either one of you.
Oh, you can.
Oh.
You got it. I think you hit a mute button then. Does it have mute on it?
Damn, I can't message you. Tell him.
I can see you. I just can't. I can see you and hear you, Larry.
Maybe Daniel can hear it. I can't. Can't hear
hear you.
either one of them.
I've had that a couple times too with it. The Wi-Fi is just.
Think
crap.
Ian's froze, Daniel. Oh, there he's moved.
No, he's good. Yeah, we're both good. Can you hear us yet? I'll keep trying.
I'm gonna try to re-enter.
Well, anything like that over here, we just blame the Russians on it.
Yeah, exactly. And then they always seem to get the ones to blame.
Oh, they're everywhere.
Yeah, exactly. Jeez. Yeah, it's fun, but yeah, I guess Larry took off. All right, well, I guess it's me and you.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah. So, do you guys have a lot of caves where you're at?
Yeah,
Or is it more-
yeah. Around Reading is about over 120.
Oh, really? Jeez.
Yeah, chalk mines.
What was it? Chill pines?
Mines. Yeah.
Oh, chalk
No,
mines.
yeah. Reading is absolutely riddled. Sometimes some of the streets will collapse.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, we've had that because of the mines. Yeah.
Yeah. So what's your closest forest to you that you would go to see these?
Well, Nooney Woods, but I mean that's about 35 miles away. But I've been up to Forest of Dean, Thetford Forest, Sahawi Forest. There's a woods 5 miles up the road from me.
Yeah.
I go there a lot.
You got plenty of places to go to see it. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of them. That's what surprised me. There's more of them than there are Bigfoot type people.
Yeah, and I've heard that recently too, but I think it was somebody on.
Especially the last few years that they've really picked up.
Yeah.
Really?
You see us? You can hear us, Larry?
Yeah, I can hear you now. I had to
okay.
back all the way out and come back in because I couldn't hear either one of you, and you were froze. So that might have been on my end.
Yeah, I was thinking that too.
Yeah, I mean, I'm also one of these that believes that the wolves eat Bigfoot as well, especially the young.
Could be. Oh, the young, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's a lot of meat on the bone there. That's for sure.
Oh yeah. Jeez, that's good.
I'm sure they're both territorial and defend their territories.
Yeah. I believe that as well.
Yeah, like The LBL's like that. It's
Yeah.
not as much, but it used to be the same. All the Bigfoot at the north, and then the Dogman the south.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's got to be something like that. But it wouldn't surprise me at all.
They've
I was
also
kind of
been
wondering.
seen together.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
we've
Yeah. That's true.
that.
Yeah.
Martin Groves. Yeah. Yeah. It's it's so weird. It depends on where they're at. But
Mm.
like we have Bruce, and he's got haunted places and caves that have skinwalkers and what was it, rakes there too,
Mm.
Larry?
Yeah, he goes out looking for them.
Yeah.
Like
Oh yeah.
you,
And
Ian. Yeah. By
yeah, it's
himself even. He just
by himself, just walks out and starts talking, and they just show up.
I'll do it during the daytime, but I won't
Yeah.
do it at night by myself.
No,
night
no.
investigation by
Yeah.
myself.
Too dangerous.
It's too
Yeah.
dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah. I normally say that's when they clock on for work.
Yeah.
And that's their time.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll go out with it. I'll go out with other guys. I mean,
Yeah.
I tried it myself. I had in October 2018. I had an experience that, luckily enough for me, somebody else experienced, and that was first time I went out at night. And I parked up. It was about 10 o'clock, and this was on Dead Man's Lane, Nooney Woods, and across the way, one started walking up and down, joined by another, up and down, and then they started one by one until they went from a walk to a trot to a run.
Okay.
It sounded like rolling thunder,
Cool. Yeah.
and I was scared. Because obviously I've never experienced anything or heard anything like this in my life.
Yeah.
And I kept that to myself for a long time until I met another fellow traveller up in Cheshire, and he said him and his mate, they were camping up in the forest there, and he said it happened to them. He said, and these guys had been doing this sort of thing for a long time. He said they were so scared.
Yeah.
They had to call the police. They called the police, say they were being chased by a wild dog.
I remember hearing about that over there.
Yeah.
I think it was like Colin that I heard it from.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Yeah. Gosh.
But they were he reckoned it was about 30 of them.
Yeah.
But they were just the sound of them pounding.
Yeah. Was it two younger kids?
Yeah.
That were there, and they called the police. They couldn't find them, and they were just freaking out. They didn't want to move anywhere, and so the cops had to come out and basically find them from wherever they were at by their directions. So, wow. So how often do you go out? And once or twice a month, or once or twice a week?
Oh, I try and make it every weekend. I mean, like last 3-4 months, I've had to drop off because I'm doing something else at the moment, which kind of, like when you put something off, and then suddenly you think, oh boy, I've got to do it. So
exactly.
I'm in one of those situations at the moment, but normally it's every weekend.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I will book. Yeah, I will book a week off work. I won't go to anywhere nice and sunny. I just think, right, these are the 3 woods I'm going to target around the country, and that's what I'm going to do.
It's more enjoyable than anything else than going on vacation.
Yeah, absolutely.
Interested, fascinated. Yeah. So wow. But yeah. Jeez. Now my mind's full. Well, you have a Facebook page and stuff like that, Ian? That's
I have one of sorts, but I don't. I've got a YouTube channel where there's about 240 odd long and short videos.
Yeah.
I mean, me just bimbling around woodland and talking at my arse.
Yeah. That would be me. And that's how I was at the Daniel Boone looking for Dogman. I'm just having fun wandering around looking. And Paul's like, focus. I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah,
Yeah,
this
yeah.
is great. So,
Yeah, I do. I'm a part of UK Dogman Facebook.
good.
Check that out.
But you know, there's so many. And obviously you want to be part of the right one because obviously you're just hoping there's somebody there that's just has a bit more information, or you can share information, and someone says, no, this happened to me this way, and you think, okay, I've learned something.
Do you have people out there that suppress it? That they?
Yeah, I do. I mean, I will tell you, interesting factoid.
Yeah, sure.
I once bumped into an armed response officer from the South Wales Constabulary about a hotline that they call to deal with these creatures. I have a relative that works as a civil servant in a rural county, and I told him this, and he goes, "Yeah, he goes to the Department of Agriculture." But
yeah,
I believe their success rate is nil.
Oh yeah. I mean, it'd be better.
That's almost kind of a form that they're admitting that there's something out there.
Yeah.
That's true too.
I mean, my relative's job, because we don't like to admit that we have big cats, the panther, puma type cats, right? But, he just dropped that it's his job to monitor the population in that area where he works,
Yeah, no, I mean, and recently we've had mountain lions. I mean, the security guy says they
got pretty good range. They travel.
Lions walking through our complex, and the people are catching them on ring cams and stuff. And we're pretty rural out here too. So
yeah,
but,
I tell you what, I was watching one of these things where a guy nearly ran over a bull moose, and it was about 10 foot tall, and the thing followed him home, and it stood out on his front lawn, eyeballing him. Have you seen that video?
No kid, no.
No, seriously, he nearly knocked it over, right? So he gets home, and a couple of hours later, this thing stood on his front lawn. It's in a cul-de-sac.
Yeah.
And it's stood on his front, and he's like looking.
Yeah.
I've got you, mate.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, yeah,
I got your number.
Yeah. If you hit one of those,
oh my Lord, forget it. One of the best stories that I've ever heard out in the US was the for Hispanic lads in Texas, where they came across a 16-foot long female.
Yeah.
And they tried to do whatever. He said, but the thing is, this thing wasn't dead. It was just unconscious. It'd been hit by a semi.
Oh.
But he said, we live 43 miles away from that site, and it still found us.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy? That's what I learned off of the show too, where he's saying stuff like that.
I think
pretty interesting.
Ever since I've had my encounters, when I'm in the woods, I always feel a presence there.
Yeah.
Like I'm being watched.
I definitely believe they can smell you from like 5 miles away. Easy.
Oh yeah. There's got to be some sort of sense that they're good with or stronger, whether it's a dog's nose similar to them.
I mean, one trick I do is when I'm about 3 to 5 miles away from where I'm going, I'll wind my windows down on the car so that the scent can get in the air. Because you're always producing scent, your pheromones or whatever, they're always, you're always producing.
Yeah, there was one on Vic's show where I think he was in Texas, and they ended up moving to New York or something like that. And he thought, oh well, I'm not gonna see this dog man ever again. Nope, it showed up right there, exactly where in New York where he was at, and he never thought he'd see it. But that would be pretty cool to see. That would be
Yeah.
really fun. So
Yeah.
Well,
I have
anyways,
yeah, sorry.
no, you're good. Go ahead.
I was going to say, you do hear stories about them being in Central Park.
Yes. Yeah, right. Isn't that crazy? You would think that'd be the last place you would ever see one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that Alfred Santiago or Santeria. He actually had been out there, and I think he even witnessed that one personally too. So yeah, I mean, if they're doing that and they're dumpster diving, out of
Yeah.
all these different places, I mean,
Yeah.
that explains why a
Just
lot of
like
time
any animal,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
easy meal.
their habitat shrinks. We're going to see more in the urban areas and cities. And
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, there's a lady again up in Yorkshire. I've forgotten what town, but we have a superstore here called, or a chain of stores called Tesco, and a lot of their dumpster or wheelie bins are at the back. So when they get rid of produce out of date, yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently they've been seen going through them a few times.
Yeah,
I mean,
I mean,
I've got a ginger one. Partially
yeah.
hidden in a car park near a natural park, and the bins are full of McDonald's, and there's a few dens around the car park.
Yeah.
And we talked
They
to
don't realize that cholesterol problem after a while for them.
I'm sure they'll burn it off, but
Yeah.
it's I was talking to one of the wardens there, and I sort of asked him. I said, have you ever seen anything? And he goes, well, we've had reports of about 100 in a 5-year period. They had 127 or 128 encounters with large black wild canines in that area alone. He says, but we don't report it. We just like, yeah, all right, thanks very much, madam.
Yeah.
We just think they've had too much to drink.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking out here too. I'm like, well, it could be somebody drinking, but if they're already describing that black, upright canids, that would blow me away every time I saw one. 100 something times a year.
I mean, I had to do a security course for a license, and there was 2 guys from a town called Chobham, which is not far from Barossa Common, near Farnborough, right? So I said to them, I said, you guys, you know Barossa Common and some of the exercise areas there. And he went, yeah. I said, you guys ever heard or come across? And one guy said, yeah, I've seen him 21 times over the years he's been working. It's like, in some areas, I'm sure that you get this in America, where some areas it's just like, it's just part of the local furniture, like part of the local, like Germantown in Ohio, where they walk through the center of the town and no one gives a flying.
Yeah, nobody catches pictures of it. Well,
just everyday life.
No. So, what do you think the percentages of dogmen that are attacking people versus they're just there to kind of scare you and in your world, or which one?
I'm going to say it's like with everything, like with people. There's always a 5% that just ruin it for the other 95%.
True, that's true, very true.
Yeah, so that's
most of the reports and stuff that we get are like that, where it's just they happen to run into one or it just scares them, and then they come running out thinking that it's going to kill them. But the longer you research like us, we start to realize, wow, nobody's really ever been attacked by one or mentioned it, but that I'm thinking it's like 98-99% of the time they're not out to take you out and use you as dinner. But I was kind of curious to see what your thoughts were on that side over there.
Yeah, I mean, say the only time it happened with me, even where I thought this was going to be the end, it was, it was still, I still got the feeling like it's like go, because if I see you at your dinner, because it was just so hungry.
Yeah. Well,
You know,
Bruce is even out there feeding him.
Yeah,
Bruce,
I do. I've left tidbits. I mean, I had a couple of days of really wonderful interaction with a cub that I call Fluffy, and I was feeding it bacon, and I had the mother behind me, and the father was off to the left. When I got out this smoky bacon, I had this like of disdain, like, that's my job, not yours.
yeah, exactly.
You know. And
Yeah.
when the first time I tried to take a picture of it, right, and it's dead, he got his left arm and it went like that.
Jeez. So
And that
you
nearly
think
broke
they
my
know?
heart.
Yeah.
Hey?
Oh yeah. Yeah. So you think they know?
Yeah, absolutely.
They understand what that means?
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
it was like hiding, like.
Yeah. So it wasn't like a flash on the camera. It was
No.
just kind of blocking it to be more discreet, I
Yeah.
guess.
Like pretending to hide.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And every year we learn about something more, and it's amazing, but it's more farther fetched, and people don't believe it now. But since
I mean, I don't know about you guys. Have you ever come across like items of clothing just left in the middle of a trail? I mean,
No.
not rotten. I mean, good quality.
Yeah.
Like it was just like like you hang something up because you need to go relieve yourself,
Yeah.
and then walk. Yeah,
There's a lot of that in the LBL.
I've had hats, coats, and a pair of toddlers. I'm probably 2-3 year old Wellington boots, just left in the middle of a muddy trail, like perfect, right in the middle.
No, is there footprints after that? Or
No,
nothing. Huh?
just. I mean, I had one of the most bizarre experiences that I've ever had. Well, a couple. One time, I'm walking along. I suddenly have this obsession to get out my mobile phone and use my banking app. I don't know why.
Really?
And I'm fiddling and fiddling and fiddling, and I go up this path off the main trail, and I'm sat. I don't know how long I'm sat there, and I'm just messing with this phone app. I don't know why, even to this day, why I did what I did. But I know when I walked out, I was 300 meters further down the pathway than where I turned off.
Oh.
And it took me a good five minutes to get myself free or find out where I was, or position. But I was just completely all over the place.
Yeah.
Which is weird. I've had
think portals too.
Yeah, honestly, I just even to this day, I'm like, why? I just had like banking app go.
Yeah, and that's all you got was maybe it's maybe like it's the U.S. government where they have you seen something over here, but I mean,
yeah,
it's kind of. I'm thinking there's a lot of more portals that have been noticed now too, and I don't know if it's just because.
Yeah, I used to. I watched a couple of Scott Carpenter's videos about.
Yeah,
it's good.
Very, very. Yeah, I actually emailed him to get the copy of his DNA book about Bigfoot.
Oh, it's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah, and because you couldn't buy it over here on Amazon UK. It was advertised, yeah, but you couldn't buy it. So I went on Scott Carpenter's site and we exchanged a couple of emails, and I just think it was. I know he went through a bit of a domestic situation towards the end, and then he passed, and I just thought Bless him.
Yeah.
A real. Um, okay.
What's that?
Bit of a
Oh,
s- yeah.
the
No.
dogs.
The front door
Oh,
just open and closed. Anyway. So
ah,
yeah.
the paranormal
Um,
too.
well, last December, I'm sat at the table here, dining table that I use as a workstation. This thing, I don't know if you can see the fireplace there.
Oh
You see it?
yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
something stuck its head round the corner and looked at me when I was sat at the table, and it must have been a good 9 foot tall,
Yeah, really.
arm and
You
head,
think it could be a dog
black
man,
eyes.
or just it was a dark coat, so it wasn't a dog man. You would think it's some
Mm.
sort of paranormal.
Like I say, it was pale grey whitish colour, arm and head, slits, black eyes, about 9 foot tall.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like any.
And I just, I just
Yeah.
kind of froze. I was like, flipping
Yeah.
heck.
Yeah. What do you do then?
So, yeah.
You just notice it, it's there, and you just
Yeah,
continue
that
to
was,
sit there. That would freak
yeah.
me out.
Kind of over here, I think they call it the Slender Man or something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
there's
I've seen a couple of videos like that. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, isn't that crazy?
yeah. I mean, even, another time, I parked up and I got out, and to the right and the top of the trees, there was a red orb that was slowly traveling down towards a
Yeah.
field, because in the field there was a bright shining light, but the light wasn't coming through the hedges, it was going up and around. And I thought, you know what, I'm not going to hang around, I'm just going to effing go.
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
even,
Some of that stuff, you just like, I'm done. Going home.
yeah, I'm not going to push my luck.
Yeah. Oh, I hear you there. I'm that
You
same
know,
person. So,
I mean, one time
uh,
I heard a cow screaming on a Sunday morning, and I can only describe it as though it was like it was murdered.
yeah.
It wasn't baying for milk, to be milked or anything. It sounded like it was being
Sure.
torn apart, like pain.
Yeah. And I've heard that out there with Dogman too, out where you guys are, where that's happened. I mean, same similar thing. So
So yeah,
not unheard of out there.
yeah. So
Crazy.
that does, yeah. That's the only negative, because there was houses around. There was like, your neighbour could be like 300-400 meters away down the road, but like no one came out.
Yeah.
Which I
Did anybody
found.
else hear it?
No, I don't know. It's because opposite across the field there is a bigger house, and you can't sort of say I did not hear anything, because it was loud. Honestly, it still leaves me a bit cold even to this day. I mean, this is about maybe 8 years ago.
Yeah. But it's still in your
But
mind.
yeah, I've just never heard anything cry or make a sound like this. But to me, it sounded like it was being murdered. I know it may sound like a daft thing to say, because we don't normally hear animals being murdered in this country, or an animal in distress.
In distress,
But
yeah.
but to me, this sounded like whatever cow is for help.
Yeah. Do you guys have bobcats out there?
We have lynx up in Scotland.
Lynx.
Yeah.
They're the ones that, I mean, they can these crazy, like outrageous screams, like a woman's being murdered and stuff like that.
Mm.
So I was wondering that maybe if that was it too, but it
No,
sounds like
not this far south. No.
yeah.
No.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
No. I mean, we have.
I didn't know we had foxes over here till recently.
Oh, right.
What the
Yeah,
heck?
foxes. Yeah, foxes are pretty common. Badgers are basically psychotic animals on four legs.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I've
Oh,
had
they'll do anything.
I had a car. I said this badger murdered my car. It was 4 o'clock
Yeah.
in the morning. I was going to work, and it ran out. This big badger just ran out in front. It tore the front off. You know.
Yeah. They get pretty
You
good
know.
size and pretty burly
Oh
too.
my lord.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Oh well. Anyways, hey, we would love to have you on again. You
Well,
know,
thank you very much for having me, gentlemen. Thank you. It's
happy
Welcome,
to
man.
have you.
Yeah.
and allowing me to just talk.
And hey, I'm good with that too because I'm considering
Yeah.
the learning part of it too between the UK and here and what they do over there and over
Yeah.
here if they were similar or completely just different. So
I think they're one of the same. I mean, obviously different types, like people.
yeah.
But I mean, in mainland Europe, I mean, the French ones can be a bit aggressive,
Yeah.
especially Eastern France. Oh my lord! Honestly, it's like Disneyland out there for the
Really?
likes of us. Oh yeah.
That's
Honestly, it would be northeastern and eastern France.
oh yeah.
There's an area called the Vosges that is like literally. It's probably one of the biggest forests in Europe.
Oh wow.
So yeah, Romania goes without saying.
Yeah, that's what I've heard too.
Poland, a lot of the Central Eastern European countries, North Italy, Spain.
Spain,
Southern Spain has a reputation.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I don't know whether it's Brazil. Yeah, do you know? Right in the early days, some guy got in contact with me. He was down in a town where they had a curfew at 10 o'clock. People weren't allowed to go out because the people were being killed and eaten.
Gosh, we have that up the street here too, where they're the homeless or addicts have been moved to this camping area, and then now they're being picked off. I think it was 9 women and 3 guys, and it's an hour east of me, and I've been trying to get time to go out there, but with how crazy my back is and everything. So,
like in India, once tigers get a taste for human meat, they won't eat anything else.
very
I'm
true.
just wondering if it's something similar.
Could be. Well, I was kind of wondering why they were taking people from LA and moving them to another area, because it's called Skid Row,
Yeah.
out there, and
Oh yeah, I know.
and,
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
they got the
Yes.
Olympics coming up too.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
they
it's
might
like
be
down
moving.
with some of the smuggling across the border, from Mexico into. You hear some of the gangs down there that they know where these packs are.
Yeah.
And they just run them into the desert, go, and then these creatures got a free lunch.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've heard a story about that, but
yeah. No, I mean, yeah, and I've heard that many of the border patrol agents up and quit. And so it says in the manual, the things that you have to do is do not shoot them. I mean, it says do not shoot these things because they recognize the car or the color, the white color, and they'll go after somebody who isn't shooting at them.
A lot of military vets from Afghanistan have reported seeing these things out there as well.
Yeah.
Now,
I
mean, I had a mate who was airborne, and they were at a forward fire base, and he said they used to get every Thursday night 12 of them, literally on all fours, just go past them, and they wouldn't when they got a searchlight, that can go 300 meters out, and see anything come. He said they didn't care. They would go right, like bright light. He said, but the strange thing is the last one would always turn around and watch the top of the castle or fort or the fortification, like to make sure no one was following them with a weapon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He said, but otherwise, he said they just left us alone. It was just always the last one that stood and watched them.
Yeah. Wow.
Before it ran off. Yeah.
It's crazy. They said that they would see them chasing people trying to cross the border. And half the time they said just let them go because they've already got a dogman calling or walking after them. It was by a water source where they would come down and they would drink and they'd go back up, but not before they were pulling, seeing this 5 or 6 people, and you never hear from them again. So they got to be pretty close to getting something. But yeah, crazy. Well, we'll have to have you come on again, and we appreciate it, Ian.
Well,
I'm sure we got more to talk about, buddy.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for having me, gentlemen. Thank you.
Happy to have you, man. So, all right.
Have a great rest of your day, Ian.
Thank you very much, Larry. You too, sir.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay. Take care. Bye.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a feeling that was.
Oh, Ian's awesome.
A good one. Oh yeah.
He's got a lot of knowledge.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
That's what I like about it. Each
Wranglers,
podcast we do, we learn something.
Exactly.
And then we share what we know.
Whole panel thing, So
yeah.
Awesome. So another one in the books. We'll be releasing this one on Tuesday.
Do we have somebody lined up for Friday already?
Yeah, Scott Pace. He's friends with Daryl, and he's had the mind speak telepathy before. So yeah,
I got some guy that reached out to me yesterday evening, and I'll get the info on what he's about and let you know. It's just another name, we could. Yeah.
We may have to do another podcast. I've got like 10 people still that are, in list to do that. But
I get 5 or 6 requests from people in the cryptid field every day now. Friend requests.
Well, it's got to be those.
It goes with it.
Platforms that we're on too.
Yeah.
Notice there's a lot of people coming out.
I think that radio ones are helping really.
Yes. Yeah, definitely. All right, let me close it down. Thank you guys.
All right, brother. You have a good day.
Thank you. You too.
Rest up and let that medicine do its work.